Hi, I'm Reverend John Riley from Unity Palo Alto Spiritual Center, and I'd like to welcome you to our Sunday celebration service. What we want you to know is that we are an inclusive spiritual community that welcomes people from all walks of life, teaching positive, practical spiritual principles so that you can do life better. We are a self funded spiritual center, and if you feel uplifted and inspired by today's service, we invite you to make a donation and to subscribe to all of our channels, and we thank you so much for your support. Today, Joe Angeles is our Sunday Experience leader. Deborah Winters is our soloist, and Russell Norman is on piano. So, with that, we begin our service as we always do with our opening song. Deborah, take it away.
I am light, I am light. 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 You are light, you are light. We are light, we are light. And I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. In this very room, there's quite enough love for all of us. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all of us. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For Spirit, God's Spirit, is in your very room. I will make a quiet place within my mind, and I will wait upon the one, wait upon the one, and I will make a quiet place within my heart, and I will wait upon the one and welcome in the love. I will make a quiet place within my life.
Thank you so much, Deborah, for those beautiful songs. Good morning, everyone. I am Joe Angeles. It's so awesome to connect with all of you this morning. Welcome to Unity Palo Alto's online service. We are part of a worldwide movement of prayer, publishing, and education teaching positive, practical, spiritual principles that you and I can apply every day to help us live a more joyful and abundant life. Unity is a spiritual movement. We are welcoming and inclusive, and wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are welcome here. And we have 5 core principles that guide us on our spiritual path. First principle, God is. There is one power and presence active in the universe and in our lives, the God, the omnipotent. And you may call this God isness, divine mind, divine love, spirit, or source. And this God, in our second principle, is the substance and intelligence innate in every person in all creation, which means you and I are innately good. And our third principle, the law of mind action. Thoughts in our mind produce after their kind, which means you and I have the ability to affect the world. And we do this by our fourth principle, the practice of prayer and meditation. Prayer and meditation connect us with that creative, constructive power of God to work in us and through us so that we can do the fifth principle, which is the practical application. As we live according to these truths daily, we become what we are created to be, the living expressions of the image of God, which unity calls the Christ. These 5 core principles guide us in living our vision statement, and I invite you to affirm our vision statement with me. Together, centered in God, we co create a world that works for all, and so it is. And we are a welcoming and vibrant community with many virtual opportunities for spiritual growth, sacred service, and celebrating our community. Starting with after service today, our Board of Trustees invites us to a financial update Zoom, and our Board Treasurer, Daniel Franzen, will present our current finances and provide us with an updated forecast. And we'll have the opportunity to ask questions and definitely hold that vision of our financially healthy and whole spiritual center. The spiritual link is on our website. And then our spiritual coffee talk will be back next Sunday combined with our prayer circle service. So all are invited to join Casey Wicker and infuse our community prayer requests with love and blessings before we send them off to Silent Unity, where they will be held in prayer for 30 days. And this meditation service is the same sacred service practiced by Silent Unity. And I love this part: one heart, one voice in prayer, affirming the light within. Then, the following Sunday, August 16, Reverend Dr. Paul Hasselbeck will be back as our guest speaker. And I love this title: Metaphysics for Uncertain Times. Hasselbeck is one of Unity's leading metaphysics authorities and has had a major role in bringing Unity's metaphysics into the 21st century. I should know, I have the book. With genuine passion for clarity, precision, and making Unity teachings understandable. Then, after the service, take a romp through Unity's teachings and how to apply them. Love this one. You get your questions answered and prepare to question your answers. Dr. Hasselbeck leads this free-willing, participant-driven workshop entitled Metaphysics Romp. So that will be from noon to 2 p.m. And tickets are available at our website. And for more information and other opportunities, you can go to our website, which is unitypaloalto.org, and you can check out our social media channels. There's so many ways to connect with us and share the good news that is Unity Palo Alto. And if you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, we invite you to pop over to the chat room and greet each other. Or you can simply put your hand on your heart and send that love to all our friends in Unity. If you're tuning in for the first time or you're back from a long absence, we'd love to hear from you. So we invite you to fill out our online connection card, which can be found on our website at www.unitypaloalto.org/live. Happy Sunday, everyone. And now we turn it over to Deborah for our call to worship song. Okay, almost done.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
Thank you, Deborah. And now for our reading from the Daily Word. Today's Daily Word is compassion. I'll read our affirmation and then invite you to affirm it with me. I am kind and compassionate. Would you affirm that with me together? I am kind and compassionate. Seeking to grow in compassion, I look to the example of Jesus. Gospel stories give many examples of Jesus showing compassion by demonstrating keen awareness of the needs and feelings of friends and strangers alike. I remember learning that Jesus did not turn away from social outcasts. He healed them and shared meals with them. His compassion fed a multitude and restored wine to a wedding reception. Upon learning that his dear friend had died, Jesus wept. Even when his disciples deserted him as he was crucified, Jesus asked God to forgive them. As I desire to grow in compassion, I know that my kind words and even simply my loving presence provide comfort. I listen deeply with my heart as well as with my ears. And from Philippians chapter 2, verse 4, let each of you look not to your own interest, but to the interest of others. And now a solo from Deborah.
Tired of telling you you have me when I know you really don't. Tired of telling you I'll follow when I know I really won't. 'Cause I'd rather stand here speechless with no great words to say. If my silence is more truthful and my ears can hear how to walk in your way, speaking in the quiet. I can feel the fire, and it's burning, burning deeply, burning all it is that you desire to be silent in me, to be silent in me. Oh Spirit, can you hear me? My soul is reaching out, and my simple tears will teach me what this feeling's all about. Unite my heart to know you and to resonate this love as I create a life of service in the spirit and truth of your loving ways. In the silence, you are speaking. In the quiet, I can feel the fire, and it's burning, burning deeply, burning all it is that you desire to be silent in me, to be silent in me, silent, to be silent in me.
Well, welcome and good morning. Thank you, Deborah. It is August, which means summer is almost over. Now, if you're a parent and you have kids who are who are going to school in a few weeks or within the month or so, you may be feeling something. If you are going to school yourself, you may be having some anxiety at this present moment. And if you don't have kids and you don't go to school, just think back to when we started this shelter in grace experience and we tried to figure out how to go to the grocery store. It's that kind of experience, when do we have to have our mask? How far away do we have to stand from each other? I can only go down a certain aisle in a certain direction. And if you go down the aisle in the opposite direction, boy, look out. Well, that's what school's like for us now. There's a great YouTube video, which I'm not going to show you because I honestly don't know whether I have the rights to or not, but it's called Back to School Decisions Are Hard, and it's by the Holderness family. You could look that up, but it's a hilarious video about parents, about a mom trying to figure out how they're going to send their kids to school. Should we go with option A or option B? Should we go with the early day or the late day? Should we go into the hybrid mode? Or nope, we're not going to school at all. We're staying at home. Things are changing so quickly and things are so complex right now. Are you feeling a little anxiety? Can you feel the stress as we move into this new stage within our year, as we move into the school year, where we don't know whether kids are going to be at school or not, where we're not sure whether what's going to happen with sports and events? Just everything seems to be up in the air. And it's times like this last week in particular, when we're looking at our kids going into their next school years, because they're both going to new schools and everything's different. It reminded me to go back to last week's talk with Martha Creek, where she mentioned the Serenity Prayer. the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And it took me right back to that. It was a wonderful talk last week, and we had a great discussion about that during the spiritual coffee talk right afterwards. So it was really alive for me during the week, and I started to thinking about that idea of acceptance. And what does acceptance really mean? What does it really mean to accept the things I cannot change? Now, if you don't know that prayer, it was written around 1932 by Reinhold Niebuhr. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I apologize to his family. But he was an American Reformed theologian, ethicist, and commentator. He taught in seminary, and he wrote this prayer in his journal. And over the years, it's such a beautiful prayer. Over the years, it's been adopted, rewritten by many, even parodied by some throughout the years. So when I started looking up and doing my research on it, I wanted to understand what this word accept really meant. So I looked it up. And in the dictionary, of course, there are several terms for it. And what I wanted to do is really go back to the origins of it, because in the current definition, you'll find it, one that we use most often is acceptance is a willingness to tolerate a difficult or unpleasant situation or circumstance, a willing to tolerate it. It's like something bad has happened to our life, and you know what? You just got to accept it and move on. And how does that make you feel when you think of it from that perspective? What's the energy like in yourself? Do you kind of feel down? Do you start, your shoulders drop? Yes, I've just got to accept it. And that's just the way it is. Or do you have a little bit different approach? And the approach that I like is going back to the Latin roots, which it really means to accept is to believe or come to recognize something, an opinion, an expression, a situation as valid or correct. So really the idea of acceptance is just to acknowledge the facts of what's happening in this present moment. Yes, this is what's happening in this present moment. We don't know what's going to happen with school. There are 3 or 4 different options. They will change tomorrow. They will change next week. They will change before our kids, and they will change as we go through the year. So when we come to any situation in life where we have, some indecision, some decision to make, where it doesn't seem like we know exactly what's happening, there is this anxiety called that bubbles up within us, and we have the choice to either accept it or not, to fight against it, to argue with it in our minds. But when we look at it from that idea of acceptance as just being, okay, here are the facts right now. The facts are school will start. We have A, B, and C options, and they may change by the end of the week. I accept that. And when I accept it just as data, as facts of this current moment, it's so much easier for me to be in it, to be able to be a part of it. This idea of acceptance, we're always accepting things. That acceptance is a continual thing. We only think about it as acceptance when it's something that's difficult. For example, we all accept that we're going to drive down the road here in America on the right-hand side of that yellow line. That's just what we accept. We don't question it. We don't argue with it. We don't worry about it. Occasionally, if we have to go around somebody who's double parked, maybe we think about it, but otherwise, it's just something that we accept. We believe as true. It's a fact that we're willing to follow. Well, anything that we have indecision about is the same thing. It's just choosing what we decide to believe in. And the challenge is when we come face to face with something that is difficult for us to accept, that's when we get our indigestion, because we're resisting, we're fighting against what the situation is. So a better definition might be a person's assent to reality of a situation, recognizing a process or condition, recognizing the data, recognizing what is. And today we're here to talk about empowered acceptance. So my definition of empowered acceptance is recognizing what is without resisting what is, knowing that it cannot change in this present moment. It may change tomorrow. It may change 3 months from now or 3 minutes from now, but it isn't changing in this present moment. And in this present moment, having the courage to choose how I respond to it. And that is what this prayer says to me. Having the courage to know what is mine to do, inward, how I respond to it, and outward, how I give to the world, how I express it in the world. Excuse me. Michael J. Fox once said, acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means understanding something. It means understanding that something is what it is and that there's got to be a way through it. So acceptance isn't resignation. It isn't rolling over. It isn't giving up, and it isn't being indifferent. It's just knowing that the data's the data. Here's what's showing up today. I accept that. And being willing and courageous to make your way through it, to find your way through it in a positive and productive way. That's the choice that we have. That's the courage that we have, that we can have in terms of moving through it. Now, there are some wonderful ways in which we can do this. And having the courage, it's really having the courage to change the things that I can change. And that's my beliefs about it. That's my reaction to it. That's what I have the power to do, is change how I relate to this situation, so that I can either be a nervous, frustrated, angry expression, or I can be a calm, peaceful, serene response. So making the courage to change by letting go of our current beliefs about the situation and our beliefs about ourselves. Acceptance is letting go of my need to have it perfect. You know, this idea, well, the school year is going to happen. It may not be perfect, but it's going to happen. And the reality is, it's never perfect. We just decide it's okay enough that we stop complaining. When we have unacceptance, that unacceptance is really about us wanting it the way we want it. So being able to let go of that idea that it's got to be my way, that I have to have it my own way. Having the courage to change the things that I can is about affirming that there is another way to look at it, another way to pass through it. It's about affirming my inner divinity and my spiritual courage. It's about affirming and knowing that I have within me everything I need in order to be that serene, peaceful presence in the world, in order to bring forth a better solution, in order to be a better presence, in order to be a leader, in order to express more fully. It's about affirming my faith in divine life, love, and wisdom, and allowing that to express through me. Now, these are the equivalent of the denial and affirmation that is taught by Unity metaphysicians. It's the idea of denial, that is, denying the power that this situation has over me. It's, that resistance that we are giving it, that resistance that it has over us, that we're giving to it. It's reclaiming our power to change the things that I can change, where we put the great energy of our thinking upon ideas of beingness, of purpose, of courage, where we turn ourselves over to and tune into divine intelligence, divine wisdom, and divine love, so that we can become a greater expression of that, so that we can allow those attributes to flow through us, so that we can be the calm presence when everyone else around us is freaking out. So the real question is, how do we put this into action? The idea of wisdom, the wisdom to know the difference. The spiritual wisdom that we're talking about in Unity is that intuitive knowing. It's that spiritual intuition. It's that still, small voice within you. And as we tune into it and turn to it as our source for understanding. Yes, there's data and facts on the outside, and then we turn within to discern. We turn within to draw upon divine wisdom, to draw upon the wisdom of God, the wisdom of the universe, our higher consciousness. It's mental action based on the divine consciousness within each one of us, as best as we can understand it, as best as we can see it through our own lens. So how do we take that wisdom and put it into action? Well, I have to tell you, there will be times when we won't be able to do it. There were times this week when I failed miserably. And there will be times this week when you will, in the future, when we will all fail miserably at having this empowered acceptance. That's just human life. That's our human nature reacting and responding. Our ego that's getting a little bit afraid of not knowing everything, about our ego being a little bit afraid that we're not in control, or even better, our ego not getting what it wants. It's okay, ego. Let's just take a deep breath. Let's tune into our higher consciousness, our higher self, that higher sense of being, just for a moment, and recognize what is data and what beliefs am I laying on top of it? What stories am I telling on top of that data? What energy, what anxiety, what creativity am I giving to that story? So it's when we use this empowered acceptance where we, let go of the anxiety, take back that energy, and we apply our spiritual energy to it. What ideas can we come up with to create a more joyful and abundant life, to have more creativity, to create more balance, to have more serenity in this present moment, to bring to it our higher thoughts, our greater thinking? Lao Tzu once said, "Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. Accept the current situation as is. And then from that, allow that divine intelligence, that still small voice within you, that intuition within you to come forward calmly and serenely. Accept the moment with grace, knowing that it will change. Affirm the highest and best for all involved. Give thanks for the highest and best in the situation. Give thanks for those school officials who are trying to figure it out, because I'm guessing they've never run into a pandemic before. Give thanks to those grocery store owners and workers for working under these conditions so that we can eat. I'm guessing they haven't run into a pandemic before. Give thanks for our ability to take a breath, to become still in the moment, so that we can draw upon Source, draw upon Spirit, allow Spirit to work in, through, and as us. Discern what is yours to do, and with serenity, proceed. So with a nice deep cleansing breath, I'd like to allow you to take a moment to turn within to that, and to affirm. We have an affirmation that's on the screen, and I invite you to tune into it and to affirm it with me. Together, in tune with divine life, love, and wisdom, I focus the great energy of my thinking upon ideas of peace, prosperity, and gratitude. I discern what is mine to do, and with faith, courage, and peace, I do it. The Serenity Prayer has been one that's been with us for a while, and one that is very helpful in times of need. And really, that affirmation that I just gave you was the Serenity Prayer backwards, affirming it for yourself, making it true for yourself. As we let go of our stress, as we deny the power that it has over us, and as we affirm the truth of us as spiritual beings, affirm that divine essence that's within us, affirm us as a channel of divine life, love, and wisdom, as an expression of divine life, love, and wisdom, we're able to tune in to it more peacefully. Eckhart Tolle once said, "Acceptance looks like a passive state, but in reality, it brings something entirely new into this world. That peace, a subtle energy vibration, is consciousness." And so let us take that within into our time of meditation and prayer. And so I invite you in this time to take a nice deep cleansing breath, to release and to close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or simply soften your gaze as we move from the outer to the inner. With a nice deep cleansing breath, we relax and let go of all of those concerns, all of those frustrations, all of those indecisions and choices for this moment. With a nice deep cleansing breath, we allow ourselves to be filled with ideas of plenty, to be filled with ideas of peace and prosperity. As we allow divine love to enfold us, love fills us up, gratitude fills us up in this present moment. With that peace in our heart, with that joy of spirit, we rest in the stillness, in the silence. In this moment of serenity, in tune with divine life, love, and wisdom, I affirm I am in tune with divine life, love, and wisdom. I focus the great energy of my thinking upon ideas of peace, prosperity, and gratitude. I discern what is mine to do, and with faith, with courage, and with peace, I do it. And with a nice deep cleansing breath, we affirm our gratitude for everybody who is supporting us during these times, for our school officials, for our sports directors and dance directors, for our grocery store attendants, for all of those who are working on the front line, all of the caregivers who are there to support us living a happy, healthy life. We give thanks. We give thanks for the good that's in our life, for the celebration of love, for our relationships, for the joy that we have within, for God is within. And in each moment, with each breath, we allow it to express itself more fully, more freely, with joy in our heart. And for this time together, for this celebration of life, let us give thanks by singing the Alleluia.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
And with a nice deep cleansing breath, we turn our attention to this space, to open your eyes if you haven't already done so, and just allow that love, that gratitude to fill you up and to fill up your room and your life and your world. Unity Palo Alto is committed to helping you live life better through personal growth and spiritual practices. We are here to help you discover that spiritual magnificence within you and live from that magnificence every day. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, know that you are welcome here. We take this moment to move into a time of affirmative prayer as we hold all of our prayer requests in our hearts. All of the prayer requests that have been submitted to us and those that we have sent to Unity, to Silent Unity. Knowing that divine love is doing its perfect work in each situation, revealing the spiritual magnificence in every person, and establishing spiritual wholeness now. We know that divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. And we hold this same prayer for our world, national, state, and local leaders, seeing them making wise and loving decisions for peace on earth, goodwill, equality, and justice for all people. And so it is. Amen. And with a breath, we step into our spiritual practice of living in the flow of abundance. We are a self-sustaining spiritual center, helping people all over the world to do life better. And if you feel inspired by today's service or uplifted, we invite you to make a donation. And there's many ways in which you can do that, either through our website, through PayPal, or by mailing in a donation. And know that we are so grateful for your support. The affirmation that we say together is on the screen. Oh, before I go to the affirmation, thank you, love. I just want to remind you that we're in the middle of a chorus of angels. We have an amazing donor who's giving $25,000 over the course of the year through December. Each month, they're matching any increase in your automatic donations. And if you establish a monthly automatic donation, that amount will be matched as well, up to $25,000 through the end of the year. For more information, you can go to our website at unitypaloalto.org/fundraising. And we're so grateful for all of you who have contributed, and so grateful for our donors. As we prepare our love offering, I invite you to bless it in your own unique and special way, to fill it with your love, to fill it with your life and love and wisdom. As we say our affirmation together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And so it is. And now we turn it over to Deborah for our closing song.
You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged, though I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you can make you feel so small. But I see God's true color shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow. Show me a smile then, don't be unhappy. Can't remember when I last saw you laughing. If this world makes you crazy and you've taken all you can bear, you can call me up because you know I'll be there. And I see God's true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow. Oh, like a rainbow shining through. I see love shining through you, and I see God's true colors shining through.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you so much. Well, I see all of your true colors, and it is the first Sunday of the month. And on the first Sunday of the month, we always celebrate the birthdays for the month of August. So while I'm not going to sing, I am going to wish everybody who has a birthday in August a very, very happy birthday, and know that God and I love you just the way you are, that you are the beautiful expression of spiritual image and likeness of the divine. So we're grateful for you, and we wish you a happy, happy birthday. And now our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Peace and blessings, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.